ਮੈਲਬਨ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਤੋਂ ਮਨਜਿੰਦਰ ਸੈਣੀ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਨਵਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ।
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਉਦਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਫੰਡ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਸਨ। ਅਸੀਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਸ਼ੁਕਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰ ਹਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ। ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ QR ਕੋਡ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਡੋਨੇਟ ਕਰਾ ਦਾ QR ਕੋਡ ਸਪੋਰਟ $100 ਲੱਖ ਜਿਹੜਾ $100 ਲੱਖ ਬਣਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ abilities, all the abilities. So the boys stand up, talk to all the abilities. Lift your hands together for these wonderful people. They are superb. They are just wonderful. Super Sikh Sports and Cultural Association Melbourne. Across Sticks New Zealand. New Zealand वाले मुझे इंडियानिया, इंडिया, इस वक्त बास कबड्डी क्लब मेलबर्न, बास कबड्डी क्लब मेलबर्न नवे नवे मुंडियारा सबाई लोग जाने का बाकी पाले ये सब ये पाला शुरू किया ये बच्चे ने कहा इस वक्त के जीवन पालो देखो हॉकी का मेलबर्न में हड़ आ गया हॉकी का मेलबर्न में और मापे अपने सोने सोने कपड़े पा के साज धज के लगता सब तो बड़ी है इस क्लास की सब तो बड़ी है जोरदार तालियां। हेलो मैंने लगता सारे नाल के दाद के भी नाल लेके आए हैं कैसी कहना हॉकी
कैरम रिकॉर्ड कर रहा
चल रही है
आई दोनों में पता है कि
साथी कुलविंदर आए जी आ रहे थे छोटे छोटे बच्चे जिन्होंने सजाए हुए उन्होंने झूले कीते हुए छोटे छोटे एथलैटिक स्पोर्ट क्लब केसी फील्ड इस क्लब के बच्चे बच्चियां ने बड़े उन्होंने अपना आस्ट्रेलिया में कैसा नाम पाया विक्टोरिया के बहुत सारे हर साल हर एथलैटिक मीट के मुंडे जड़े बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार है कश्मीर स्पोर्ट सेंटर सामने states from World Parliamentary and the PI Melbourne and individual states. I would like to ask them what's their name. You are Punjabi cultural and sports festival Australia. First दवाइयां निकलियां ये वो कुड़ियां ने जिन्होंने कदे नटबोली सेलियां की सब तो पहले तकनी थी अगली सेलियां शायद होने वाली पिछेगा सभी साई 28 मार्च को साई सेलियां पर छूट जा रही है
पाजी पाजी
setting a new record in shot put. She also opened world championships in women's and mixed divisions.
all the teams who are so proud of what you do for these Australian Sikh Games. I wish to acknowledge the presence of the Honourable Julian Hill, representing the Prime Minister, Lee Talmans, Member of Parliament, representing the Premier of Victoria,
Thank you so much.
Vivian Nugent, Chairperson for Multinational Commission, our committee members, our honourable guests, Ryan Brown from Royal Children's Hospital, CEO, ANZAC President, Sarabjit Dhillon, and Mahavir Garawal, one of the founders of the Australian Sikh Games from Sikh Society of South Australia, Evan Mulholland, representing the opposition government for the state, media partners, supporting partners, our major sponsors, Panvik and Rain and Hornland Victoria, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a special day as we look at what we have achieved in 38 years. From humble beginnings, from a hockey match in 1988 to now what is the largest Sikh sports and cultural event on this planet. Numbers are now boasting at 9,000 players, 550 teams, 110 clubs in 17 different sports over 3 days. And credit goes to everybody that has been a part of these games for that 38-year period. This is not something that this Melbourne committee has achieved. This is a united achievement by the whole Australian committee, the community, and the support from all of our volunteers, sponsors, media partners, and government. This is truly a community event. It's an event by the community, for the community. We are all volunteers. There's nothing like this anywhere else, and its success is due to the unity, the passion for sport, and the rich culture. So congratulations everybody, and I do want to say a very special thanks to what these 2026 committee has achieved with these very new initiatives of introducing sport for all abilities for the first time, Sikh Connect focused on our youth, Cause Rising, which is expanding our women's engagement, the International Coaches Conference, the Royal Children's Hospital appeal, Kho and Gadka as first sports to the editions, and the Bhangra and Gita competition. So you can see there's so much more that we've been added this year to these games, and we hope that these will be preserved in years to come. Thanks to the committee for their hard work in the last 18 months. We look forward to all of your participation as we move to Perth next year, and as we move from Melbourne to Bonchangay, Perth. So thank you so much everybody. Hope you have a wonderful next day. Thank you.
Jags, for the leadership that you've shown in bringing the games together. And on behalf of the Prime Minister and the Australian Government, thank you to everyone who's made the trek to Melbourne. It is wonderful that Melbourne and my home state of Victoria have been able to host these games, the 38th, which have grown to be one of the largest, most energetic and most colourful and downright joyful weekends on Australia's multicultural calendar, which is appropriate given Sikhism is one of the fastest growing faiths in Australia, and the Punjabi language is the fastest growing second language in our country. When you arrive at these games, you don't just arrive at a sporting event, you walk into a celebration where half the people are catching up with family and friends and the other half are warming up. We've heard there's been thousands of athletes, more than 9,000 this year in Melbourne, surely a record. I was a little bit sad that we couldn't host it at Casey Fields as it was in 2019, but it's now simply too big and had to be hosted here in the central city. What really makes these games special though is that they're not just about sport, they're about inclusion. And the full program includes women's empowerment events, interfaith, youth forums, disability, participation, arts, cultural and more. There's something for everyone, which which is consistent with the Sikh faith and values and Guru Nanak's teachings of equality. And also, of course, langar. I think you said more than 100,000 meals today, more than 300,000 over the entire program. Late last year, I had the privilege of visiting Punjab state in India and Sri Harmandir Sahib, the Golden Temple. Now, I thought the kitchens at my local Keysborough Gurdwara were big until I visited the Golden Temple, more than 200,000 meals on the weekend day that I visited. But Australia's Sikh Games has become a fixture in modern Australia, and modern Australia is multicultural Australia. People from all over the world who share a commitment to our country, to our democracy, to our values and institutions, while celebrating their ancestral identities and cultures. I also acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation because our continent's human story began 10,000 years ago. We can be proud of what we've built here in modern Australia over generations, and key to making our diverse society work is that principle of mutual respect for our fellow Australians who may be very different. And sport has played such a huge part in creating our national story. That's why events like this really matter, and the government was delighted to provide $450,000 to support these games, money well spent over the last few days. So congratulations to the athletes, congratulations to those on the committee who made the games happen, but perhaps most importantly, thank you to the quiet heroes, the volunteers, the coaches, the organisers, the parents, the community leaders who poured their time and energy and heart into making sure that the games have run so smoothly. I wish you a happy final day tomorrow, and thank you again for being back in Melbourne.
Thank you, Mr. Hill, for your encouraging words. We would now like to invite Lee Tarmalis, Member of Parliament, who is representing the Premier of Victoria, the Honourable Jacinda Allen, to share a few words with us as well.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to begin by calling the Kulin Nation and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and acknowledge any First Nations people joining us here today. To Jag, thank you very much, and also the Australian President of the Sikh Games, to my parliamentary colleague Julian Hill, Viv Nguyen, the Chair of the BMC, all the athletes and sporting clubs that are present here and participating, the Sikh Games Organising Committee, all the dignitaries, community and faith leaders, and of course all the sponsors as well that helped make this event possible today. It's wonderful to be with you here representing the Allan Labor government at the Games ceremony for the 38th Australian Sikh Games, an incredible milestone for the Australian Sikh community. Over the years, the Sikh Australian Games have become one of the largest annual sporting events for the Sikh community across the country. After 38 years, it's clear that this tradition is here to stay and is growing and getting even bigger. Like Julian, I fondly remember in 2019 when the Games were hosted in my electorate out in Casey, and can see exactly why it's not possible that it can be hosted out there again at the scale that it is grown to these days. But it is a weekend that's about showcasing the incredible talent, determination and sportsmanship across so many sports, while also celebrating the risk culture and values of the Sikh community. Every athlete who steps onto the field not just represents themselves, but the pride of their community. And I want to acknowledge the hard-working team and committee of the Sikh Games and what this sporting festival is all about. It's about promoting the values of Sikh faith that celebrate Sikh culture through sport, music, dance and cultural programs. It encourages health, well-being, active lifestyles by hosting major sporting competitions, including traditional Sikh sports that engage and inspire thousands of participants. It supports community engagement, inclusion and multicultural connection through initiatives such as their Langa, Women's Network forums, open discussions and panel sessions. And it showcases leadership, empowerment and cultural pride by providing platforms for youth, women and community members through ceremonies, forums and the marketplaces and stalls that you see around the pavilions. As you know, Victoria is proudly home to one of the most culturally diverse societies. Generations of migrants from all over the world have not only chosen to make Victoria home, but have helped build the Victoria that we are all so proud of, contributing to our economy, enriching our culture and strengthening the communities we all share. I want to also briefly mention Vaisakhi, which is drawing very quickly upon us. And I had the pleasure of attending a function hosted by the Premier just last week to acknowledge the contributions of Sikh Victorians. Vaisakhi is a time of renewal, of gratitude and community, a time to come together, to share food, to give thanks and to look ahead with hope. And for Sikhs, it carries an even deeper meaning. Because it was on Vaisakhi in 1699 that Guru Gobind Singh Ji founded the Khalsa, an order built on courage, equality, compassion and standing up for the dignity of all people. Those are Sikh values, but they are also values that we are proud to share here in Victoria. Another of the great pillars of Sikh faith is Seva, selfless service. And that is not just something spoken about, it's something you live every day. And we see that through the fundraising efforts that have been talked about here today, the Langa that's being provided, and I see it through the Gurdwaras and the selfless service that we see through the food drives and support for the community in and around my electorate and across Victoria each and every day. And I also saw it when I visited Punjab and the Golden Temple last year as well. And as Julian said, the scale of which the support that the Langa is there is truly amazing and inspiring to see. So the ALM Labor government is working with our proud multicultural communities to make Victoria stronger, safer and fairer. And celebrations and gatherings like this remind us that our strength lies in our relationships and connections that hold us together. And it reflects on what it means to be Victorian. No matter who you are, where you were born or what language you first spoke, here in Victoria, you can all belong. We just don't tolerate diversity, we embrace it as part of who we are. And I look forward to the connections, achievements and community spirit this event will inspire. Thank you and good luck to everyone competing in the events. Thank you.
So much for your kind words and appreciation. We would now like to call upon Mr. Ryan Brown. He's the CEO of the Royal Children's Hospital Foundation. Request you, sir, to please share some views.
Sas Sri Akal. Good evening, my name is Ryan Brown and it's my privilege to be the CEO of the Royal Children's Hospital Foundation, and it's absolutely my privilege to be here today. Through living your values of Kiratakani, to earn an honest living with hard work, dedication and to share your earnings through giving back to the community, your community is truly inspiring. Whether or not you're volunteering, cooking meals, delivering meals to over 30,000 people here in Victoria through some of the areas as the members have raised before. Connecting individuals throughout our nation with mentors, creating leadership opportunities, organising youth camps and community events. Or supporting a world-class paediatric hospital like the Royal Children's Hospital. You should all be commended for your seva, your selfless service to the community. Funds raised through the Games will ensure that the Royal Children's Hospital will remain in the top 5 paediatric hospitals around the world. Your support doesn't just fund care, it transforms lives. It creates a lasting impact and builds a happier and healthier future for our children. Thank you to everyone who has supported the SINGH Games. Continue to support the Royal Children's Hospital. We very much appreciate your generosity. Thank you.
Thank you to all Parliament, as well as Viv Nguyen, Chairperson for Victorian Multicultural Commission, ANZAC President Sarabjot Singh Dhillon, and all other dignitaries. We would now like to request Mr. Jag Chuga to please escort all the VIPs back to the grandstand. ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੀ ਅਖੀਰਲੀ performance ਰਹਿ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਦੀ. This is the last element of our ceremony today. In the last 2 minutes of this performance, all those on the hockey pitch will be invited to join in on the Bhangra for a grand Bhangra finale. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਨੱਚਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਦੀ ਹੱਡੀ ਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਗਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਾ ਮੂੰਹ ਬੋਲੀ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਵਾਂ ਨੱਚ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੂੰ ਬੋਲੀ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਵਾਂ ਨੱਚ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੂੰ.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਕਮੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਾਈਕ ਤੇ ਸੈੱਟ ਕਰ ਹੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ. ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ 3 ਗਰੁੱਪਸ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਜੀ. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਟੌਰ ਪੰਜਾਬਣਾ ਦੀ ਬਾਏ ਰਾਜਵਿੰਦਰ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਜੀ ਗਿੱਧਾ. ਫਿਰ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਜੀ ਯਾਦ ਸੰਧੂ ਜੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਅਕੈਡਮੀ, ਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿਲ ਡੂ ਭੰਗੜਾ. ਐਂਡ ਬਿਫੋਰ ਐਨੀਥਿੰਗ less and more, I would like to introduce to you the kids from Bhangra Roots. You can see them in yellows and purples. So ji khich lo tiyariyan, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੀ ਗਿੱਧਾ ਤੇ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਭੰਗੜਾ.
Thank you. ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਮੈਂ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਿ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ life.punjab ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦੇਖੋ, ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ, ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਛੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਨਾ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।